City hope to become the first side in the country to reach 30 points for the season, and it's still only the first week of October. A blistering pace set by Enzo Maresco's fleet-footed Foxes. Played 10-1-9, it's promotion achieving, its title winning, its record-breaking form. There's still a huge job to do. It's an opportunity and a goal. Kelechi Iheanacho puts Leicester into the lead. Towards Ndidi, and Vardy puts it in the back of the net. There's no flag. It's 2-0. Another victory for the leaders of the championship.
Been a nice couple of weeks, hasn't it? 10 wins from 11 at the start of the season. That victory over Stoke was record equalling. Leicester can break the record today by becoming the first ever team to get more than 30 points in their opening 12 games at the start of a championship season. Welcome along to Matchday Live here on Foxes Hub with me, Dan Bates. We've got Steve Walsh and Matty Fryer with me in the studio. We'll talk to those guys in just a moment. Before we do that though, we've got to get all of today's team news fresh, hot off the press from Swansea City, of course, today. And Enzo Maresca makes 5 changes to that side that beat Stoke before the international break. In come Justin, Fass, Ndidi, Mavididi and Vardy. Dropping to the bench goes Sutar, Cassidy, Chowdhury, Iheanacho and Yunus, who incidentally scored a brilliant goal for Turkey during the international break. This is the Leicester City starting 11. Then it's Hermansen in goal, Justin, Vestergaard, Fass, Ricardo across the back 4. Winks, Dewsbury Hall and Ndidi in midfield, with Mavididi and Fatawu either side of Jamie Vardy. On the bench for the Foxes, Stolarczyk, Cody, Cassidy, Albrighton, Iheanacho, Sutar, Chowdhury, Daka and Yunus Akgün. From a home side's point of view then, Swansea City, they're on a pretty good run of late. After failing to win in any of their opening 7 games, they then turned that round to win 4 in a row before the international break. So, somewhat unsurprisingly, Michael Duff names an unchanged side to the one that did beat Plymouth a couple of weeks ago. In goal they've got Rushworth. Across the back 4 it's Timon, Humphreys, Darling and Key. It's Patino on loan from Arsenal in midfield alongside Grimes, and then Lowe, Patterson and Cullen in behind Yates, who's got 4 goals so far this season in the Championship, 3 of them coming on home soil. He'll be hoping for something similar today. We, of course, won't be. That is the Swansea City team, as well as Leicester's team. So it's time to introduce you to our team today. We've got Steve Walsh and Matty Fryer with me today. Walsh, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Good to be back, Batesy. It is. Yep.
Hoping for a good game today?
Well, it's been a fantastic start, hasn't it? Terrific. I must admit, it's we've won the 10 games out of 11. We've got a big 5 weeks coming up, 7 games, I think, if my stats are right.
Yeah, they always are.
So it's going to be, there's some tough games though looking at this. Starting with today, and I think the fact that a lot of people who I'm speaking to, they're getting carried away a little bit. We're looking at, are we going to get the most points, ever, in history? I think it's just the next game now. I think the improvements have come through. It's been a huge summer for Leicester. And big changes, but it's getting better and better and better every game I see. And when you look at it, the class of player we've got in whatever team he plays, and I can't read what he's going to do all the time, Enzo, but whatever team, you look at the bench, we've got so much class, technical gifted players that you almost think, and I don't like to say it, but we're just too good for everybody.
Well, hopefully, but you don't want to get ahead
I don't want to. I don't like saying that, but it certainly looks it at this stage. But let's concentrate on today's game and getting 3 points again, because it's a big. This will be a test today.
Yeah, and it will be a record-breaking test if they can get the victory, Matty.
Yeah, everything's looking promising, as it's been, as Walsh said, a fantastic start. Couldn't ask for any more. And the thing with good players and the group, they've managed to solve problems, whether it's controlling it through possession or going gung-ho and be attacking, and they've shown the quality in different forms, and that's been in evidence against, say for example, Rotherham, Norwich, where they've had to control possession and then show the ability and quality on the counter, and then where they've gone at teams at Blackburn and Southampton, where they've just took teams apart. So any team, they're a force to be reckoned with, and Swansea have got a lot more things to worry about than what Leicester have got on Swansea. So it's good. I'm glad to be back as well. I'm not really a massive fan of the international week, so it's good that we're back and we've got a good game to look forward to.
Yeah, you know what, basically, when you look at the Stoke game last time, Preston, they came here with a game plan to sit on the 18-yard box. Literally, Stoke, I've never seen a team sit so deep, right? We've always found it a struggle to play against teams like this, but sooner or later now, if we just keep at it, the same philosophy, we're wearing teams down, and we're scoring later goals, and we're starting to win those games that sometimes you think this is going to just fade out and going to be a draw, but it's not. We've got so much, some wing play is fantastic. You look at it, and the only criticism I could even try to think of is sometimes we can attack too much and then we're on the back foot with the counter, which a lot of teams have tried to do, but we still get back in numbers. But that's the only vulnerability I've seen in this team so far this season, which isn't a bad thing to say.
No, not at all, especially when that team has won 10 of their first 11 at the start of the season. We'll talk about today's team news in just a moment. We've got a busy Matchday Live, though, coming up as ever here on Fox's Hub. We'll take a look back at that Stoke game, of course, particularly the 2 goals. Wilfred Ndidi in and amongst it again with another assist. We'll take a listen to what the squad have got to say so far on this start to this season. A few of them have been in the box over the international break. And we'll also hear, of course, from Enzo Maresca, who's been taking a closer look at today's hosts, Swansea. I guess team news is a good place to start, Matty, isn't it? 5 changes made by Enzo Maresca today. Some of them were probably surprising before the Stoke game, and today makes 5 again. He seems to like making a number of changes, but actually it has been working.
It does, but I think when you're looking at the team, it'd probably be the strongest team he could pick. I think the only... Is it going to be up front? Is it going to be Vardy or Iheanacho? The other places you would say was going to be that starting 11 with the players available. Although it's been 5 changes, you would look and probably think this moment in time, barring injuries and everything, that is the strongest team. So
the team today.
Team today, I think, at the minute, as much as there's been 5 changes and Enzo does mix things up, you look in it and probably would say, if you had to go, is this the strongest 11 available? I'd say so from what Enzo seems to be putting together, even though he does make changes and mix things up, but he could afford to do that against the Stoke game previous, and people rested, some being on international duty, and now you look at it and think that's probably the strongest team that Leicester could field.
I think I agree with you, Matty, and it takes a lot of time to look at the opposition, every fine detail, and when you look at, is there a physical player that you're playing against that he wants to bring someone else in, and he can change at any time with the wonderful array of different types of players we've got now in this squad. So it's a great thing for a manager to have that blend of youth as well, and that bit of experience still. I'm still not convinced there's a real leader out there, as such as demanding and pulling people about and doing this. But at the moment, the ship's been steered very well.
Yeah.
And we look safe, we look sound, but like I say, I think he does put a lot of time into the opposition, and you can see clearly that team, you're looking at them players, and I just looked pound for pound, you look at it, it's a good starting lineup.
Yeah, 5 of today's starting 11, though, as we know, didn't start against Stoke a couple of weeks ago here at King Power Stadium, where Leicester made it 10 from 11 at the start of this championship season.
Given every reason for confidence that Leicester can overcome the obstacles. All 11 players, and they're building here. Leicester City, it's an opportunity and a goal. Leicester City score. Iheanacho on target. Well, it was patient, it was slow, but it has borne a rare goal in the first half at King Power. But Lloris could be away here for Stoke City. Plays it into the area, and an excellent opportunity for young Lowe, who gets it all wrong with his head. Well, the teenager knows that he should have made it 1-1 right at the start of this second half. Hermansson's clearance has given an opportunity here for Leicester City. Iheanacho wants handball. Ref says play on. Iheanacho. Fatou. So close to his first goal. Well, he was involved in the build-up. Fatou, in the end, unable to hit the target. Travers dived. Oh, it's a lovely turn by Iheanacho. And there's a chance here for Dewsbury Hall. And Travers got so close to him. Dewsbury Hall couldn't really lift it over him. I think that's what he was attempting. Chowdhury. Dewsbury Hall. Well, they're backing off him a little bit. And it's in towards Ndidi, and Vardy puts it in the back of the net. There's no flag. It's 2-0. And the two subs have combined so quickly after coming off the bench. Vardy is delighted. Leicester are delighted. It's surely another victory for the leaders of the Championship.
Jamie Vardy on the score sheet there, off the bench against Stoke. He's back in the starting 11 today. If you are just joining us here on Matchday Live, he's one of 5 changes made by Enzo Maresca. As you can see there, Mavididi and Fatou tailing him either side as the two wingers. It is a formidable starting 11. You were both here, obviously, for that Stoke game a couple of weeks ago. And Walshy, you've mentioned the fact that Stoke did sit back, didn't they? And it did take a bit of time. It took some patience, and that's exactly what Leicester were. And when Iheanacho gave them the lead, there was a sigh of relief, I think, around the ground, because Leicester were struggling to break a really stubborn Stoke side down.
And when we got that goal, you would have thought that Stoke would have changed the game plan, but they didn't. And teams are not good enough to do that now against us, because they're worried about conceding 2, 3, 4 goals, but you've got to get back in the game. But Stoke didn't lay a glove on Leicester, and teams have got to be careful, because they're a very good technical players, like I said, and we're a fast counter team, so it's going to be hard to contain us, and managers are kind of wary of that fact. So I think they controlled that game against Stoke from start to finish. Always the better team. I think sometimes we just it's almost like we're trying to walk the ball in the net. Sometimes we're trying to play all these little passes inside the box, and but it's great play, it is, and they're trying to create that opening. It just wasn't coming, but you knew, you felt like it was going to, and when we got that, there was a sigh of relief. You're right, and you just knew you were going to win the game from there. Yeah, I knew it.
It was really well taken, wasn't it, by Kelechi Iheanacho. Matt, he'd scored a similar one against Preston. This was almost carbon copy.
Yeah, it was so tight, wasn't it? And I don't think anyone's really mentioned the ball from Ricardo Pereira, that little cute pass inside, because they popped multiple buses, didn't they? Stoke showed Leicester so much respect in terms of numbers behind the ball, but it was a lovely little pass in, and then his touch was slightly wide, but that actually opened up, took him away from the defender, and it's such a good finish from the tight angle, across the keeper into that far corner. And then, as Walshy said, you'd expect Stoke to come out a little bit more, but they stayed in. They just kept it. They were content being 1-0 down, and then when they did, then Leicester showed the quality. They had lots more chances as the game becomes stretched, and teams can't live with Leicester once they're breaking through with midfield runners, the quality in the attack. And I think that will be similar today. I think the midfield area is going to be key, and having Wilfred Ndidi back in alongside Kiernan, who's breaking forward, the midfielders in this division, they seem a class above in terms of the energy when they break through, the athleticism, and even the second one, the cute little pass from Wilf, and then Jamie Vardy, how do you like him? Little tap in and secures the game. But I think the midfield area in particular today, if Leicester get on top of it and show what they've been doing all season, I think they'll dominate and go and win if they can do that. So I think they have more in that midfield area. Even in this game, the subs, it shows the strength and depth. 2 players come on, part of the goal, and game over.
I mean, I read the subs on against Stoke, in my room. I thought, look at that. I just looked at that, and I knew straight away, God, that's strong bench that was.
Yeah, Vardy obviously getting this goal. He gets the nod today, Walshy. That's 5 for him, 5 for Dewsbury Hall, 5 for Iheanacho as well as McAteer. The goals are being spread really well, and whether it's Vardy or Iheanacho, they're both tending to score.
Well, you get the ball to Jamie Vardy. We always know that he's going to score goals. There's no doubt about it. You know, and he's going to be playing more games. You can see clearly. You know, he's going to be starting the big games now. And I think that presence is coming back. You can see it, that confidence maybe. He might have had a little bit of a confidence knock over the last year or so. But
this goal was just...
He's still, his pace is still there. You know, I look at him and people are saying that's the end of him. You know, the silly, you know, to even doubt him. You know, he's still got everything, honestly. I mean, he gets in a few positions and, you know, he's missed a couple have gone over the bar and people say it's not the same, but it's only, you know, he can finish. I mean, look, top class, and he's a born goal scorer, and they're hard to find. Iheanacho, he can finish. The lad can finish, whatever you say, you know, and between them now, they're getting to a stage now where they're going to be, 15, 20 goals, aren't they?
You'd like to think so.
I'd like to think that. Yeah, I think 2 of them on that would be massive this season, and that's what the targets have got to be. Would be 20 goals. I don't know what, Matty, was your target always 20? It would have been, wouldn't it, season?
2, I think.
But you set yourself.
Maybe put 0 on the end if I get more than 2.
12, well, one of the players that actually is knocking on the door of that, and even the top scorer in the Championship, he isn't quite that, but he certainly is in Leicester's bracket is Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. He got the double against Preston just before the Stoke game as well. If we're speaking about finishing, his has been right up there this season. Yeah,
it's been excellent, hasn't he? Breaking forward and showing that attacking responsibility, and then being in the positions, even against Norwich, he was so unselfish to lay it cross for Casey, and at the same time he's been going through and finish across goal, the little dink against Blackburn, and even the other day where he breaks clear, it was a fabulous save to deny him, but clear through on goal and tries that little clever chip over the keeper, and you can only do that when you're full of confidence, and he looks a real handful in this division, breaking through and then finding the right pass at the right time or the right finish. So that in that Preston game, it was vital to get that breakthrough, and then obviously once they get the first goal, then the other team sort of collapse and lose the game plan or the confidence, have to go for it more, and then Leicester can really show the talents then.
Yeah, I can see Kiernan getting 15 goals. Yeah. I can, you know, the way
the
he's
whole
playing.
Team.
Well, you look at it, and there's a lot of goals in these players. You know, players like Kiernan anticipates well. He's got a good strike, you know, and he looks for that early shot. He's you know, he's doing well.
Yeah, it's an exciting start to the season. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall was one of the players that sat down in the box during the international break to assess what's been a fantastic start to the season.
To be honest, none of us would have expected to be in the position that we are at this point in the season, but we're looking forward and we're keeping improving day by day.
I think it's been a great start to this season. I think we worked hard.
Could have been better. Could have won 10 out of 10, but could have been a lot worse, so long may it continue.
Brilliant, I think. I was doubting a bit, but no, I think we have to enjoy now that it's going very good.
I think it's a good start for us, and we are hoping more for the team.
We're happy with where we are. Everybody's working really hard and everybody's preparing every game in the right manner, in the right way, because we know how difficult the league can be.
We keep that energy and hopefully we get to the top soon. Thank you.
Kelechi Iheanacho being classic Kelechi Iheanacho there in the box. Just head on to Fox's Hub or YouTube to watch the full version of that, where the squad are talking about the start of the season, of which it's been a really good one, Matty Fryatt.
It's been brilliant, hasn't it, in terms of the style, in terms of the way the team have played, keeping the ball, being patient. At times have had to show patience to break through. Other times, when you look at the first game of the season, showed some resilience, some character when they were sort of down at half time and had to come back into a game, and it sort of sets the season up well then.
How vital do you think that Coventry win was?
Massive, because you got to think last year Coventry reached the playoff final themselves. Leicester come in off a poor to indifferent season, to say the least. Turnover of staff, players in, and then to win at home against your local rivals was massive. especially in the way it was won.
Yeah, the manner of what we won that game, that set for me, the first game of the season is vital. You know, obviously we know it can change, but for me, it was just that turnaround. You could see how destroyed Coventry were when we got that second goal. It was almost like the season had ended before it's even started.
And great celebrations from Enzo.
It was terrific.
He knows how much
it was much needed, and I think that was the start of what's happened. I really think that was a great way for things to happen, and going into your next game, that confidence must have been so high in these lads. And you've seen like the style of play. It's took me a while to get used to this. I've almost been frustrated sometimes with the way we've been playing, but I'm now accepting that this is the way to play.
Yeah.
It is, and I can understand exactly what he's trying to do now. There's something at the training ground on the wall. I went to do a tour at the training ground, and there's something, I'll find it in a minute in my phone because I took a picture of it, and it just typifies what the mentality is trying to instill into our players. And it was just the way of keeping the ball and not giving it away. And you know, you see in one game 90% possession.
Crazy. We're
playing in places like, if Martin O'Neill was manager, he'd pull me off, he'd drag me off, you know. And but we're that good at what we're doing that it's very effective. And I can see why now, from the transition through the thirds to get the ball forward from our own box is incredible. And there's teams not even getting a touch; they can't get near us. and so it's just incredible.
Yeah, one of the highlights possibly Southampton away. Would you say?
I thought that was excellent just to watch from afar, the way that he got after Leicester, after Southampton. I know that the first goal plays a huge part in that, where you're 1-0 up so early in the game, but just the way they just tore through Southampton. Avadidi was excellent that night. They couldn't handle him, but the way Leicester just stretched the game and the quality that they showed against what you probably say at the start of the season, Southampton would be expected to be around the top places or in the playoffs, and he just cut through Southampton. It was as if they weren't there. Like, that goal was superb. I think that came on the back of 36 passes or something crazy, let alone the finish and quality at the end. And yeah, just running through. This was just after half time, and you'd think it was the last embers of the game, but instead it was about the 50th minute. But they just showed a different side, which they've worked out what to do or what's needed. So the other week against Stoke, there was that patience and control and dictating the ball. But then other side of it, where they've gone after teams like against Southampton, like against Blackburn, and just blasted them away, which is scary, because they can show that they can win in either forms, whether it be in patience, control, or just devastating attack. And they've shown the quality as well.
They seem very happy as well, don't they? You know, you can see in the play that they've got that freedom. They've got that togetherness now, which is needed, and it plays a big part for me. That does, and you can see every player. And like I say, some of the wing play is incredible. It's fast, it's direct. I like it, you know, and it's certainly for the future of the club. At the moment, we're rebuilding, of course, because of relegation, but. Don't get me wrong, I don't know how we'd compete in the Premier League just yet, but let's not talk about getting there just yet.
Long way off.
But it is the style of play. Like I said, it did frustrate me a few times, but because I really didn't think it was effective. But I can see now that we're too good in this league for the opposition in technical ability and the way that we pass the ball and keep the ball and we're wearing teams down. It's certainly paying dividends.
Yeah. Last word on that and the start of the season, because I think it's a fair point that the Walshy makes, that maybe it took supporters a little bit of time to get used to a completely new system, probably the players too, because it is completely different to what they've played before. So it took them a little bit of time, yet they've won 10 of the first 11, and now you can really see them kicking into gear.
Yeah, I think you even saw that though in pre-season, the control, the patterns, the style. I know Enzo's his own man, but you can see sort of the same styles as in Man City, and that's been all implemented within the games. And people like Harry Winks, what a signing he's been so far. He conducts all the play. They're playing around him. He speeds the play up, he slows it down when's needed, and then the inverted fullbacks being inspirational in terms of going in there, controlling the play, getting the overloads. As much as Leicester go forward with players, they've always got 5 at the back, whether that being the 2 holders and the 3 cover round. And then on top of that, you're playing really good football. It's attractive in the right areas at the right times, and then you go and being creative in attacking areas and scoring the goals on top of it, while also being solid defensively. Yes, with this style, there is going to be mistakes at times, but there's too much good for it to change. So so far, all been good, and it's about complacency. None of that.
Yeah, none of that. Well, let's hear from the man that's been in charge then at the start of this season. For Leicester, there was a lot of change in the playing staff, wasn't there? A lot of change in the management staff as well. But Enzo Maresca has come in and done a fantastic job. As ever, he has spoken to the media ahead of this game with Swansea today. And he was asked actually about the hosts and what he can expect from them.
It's quite clear. I think they struggled when they start the season. The first 6 games, probably they lost 4, they drew 2, and then in the last 5 games they won 4 and they draw 1. So it's quite clear the dynamic is completely different now. It's a good team. They try to play, and they have different weapons that they can use.
I remember speaking to you obviously ahead of the game against Southampton, where we spoke about a side then who likes to keep the ball, and Swansea are in that kind of similar mould as well. Do you think they'll stick to that style tomorrow?
I don't think they are similar, to be honest. They are quite different. Southampton is much more, I don't know, it's the right words in English, obsessive with keep the ball. Swansea a bit less, but at the end, it's not a direct team. It's a team that they try to play.
But you think they'll stick to that way tomorrow?
If they're gonna play in this way tomorrow?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I don't know if they're gonna wait, or I think anyway. When you play 5 games and you win 4 and you draw 1, you expect the same, but probably they're gonna change. I don't know. We'll see.
And if you win tomorrow, Enzo, it will be the best start in a championship season since 2005. With 11 wins and 1 defeat, if you were able to go and get the win. I know you like to focus on the next game, and these kind of records aren't necessarily important, but it does show the start that you made to the season is quite exceptional in terms of the history books.
Yeah, but I think it's even if you lose, it's fantastic start. So we focus about tomorrow game, especially we focus in what we have to do, and then it's a consequence. I think if we do the right things, 9 of 10 or 8 of 10, you get results doing the right things. Sometimes even if you do the right things, unfortunately, sometimes you don't win. But we are just thinking about tomorrow game, to be honest.
How have you tried to use this international break to your advantage?
Like the previous one, try to work and to be focused on the lads that they were here with us, focus with some of them doing some specific work.
How much do you enjoy that kind of thing as a coach, being able to spend time one-on-one with players?
No, it's the best for us. When you like to be on the pitch and coach players, it's the best moment because it's what we like to try to teach them and to improve them, and it's a good moment.
That was Enzo Maresca there, speaking ahead of this game with Swansea. Interesting what he was talking about, the international break, Walshy. Was it something you've already said you don't like it? I don't think any football fan, do they, really likes the international break. But he likes the fact that he can have 2 weeks to work on stuff on the training ground, because obviously not all the players go.
Them days are gone from momentum when we won the beat Preston and beat Stoke, didn't we? Yeah. So we've gone into that window in really good form. And you just want to keep playing, but I think there's a shift in changing in what they can work on, especially a couple of injuries as well. It's given them an extra week or 2 as well, isn't it, to get better. But don't forget, he's still improving this team now, and he can work on things because there's been so many changes in the summer. It's still. I looked in his notes and it was looking for improvement, which we're all looking for improvement all the time, but that's the key message at this moment, that this team is still improving, and hopefully they'll get better and better. By the looks of it, you can see now that it's really looking the part, and that was key. What he said in his notes for me was still looking to improve, which any manager could say. But this game today is a key game, but like I said, there's we've got 7 games coming up in the next 5 weeks, and this is the test now. This is for me key in this season, and we can look at any other game, but now till at the end of November, December, the end of we'll start to look at it.
We'll see. Jerry Taggart has made the long trip down to the Liberty Stadium this evening for the game. Jerry, good afternoon to you. How is the weather? I know there's been a lot of rain around.
Yeah.
How is it down there?
It's very nice. The sun is out, trying its best. There's a bit of cloud around. Pitch looks in good condition. Players are zipping the ball about in the warm-up. So yeah, all looking good, Dan.
What are you expecting today?
Much of the same as what we've seen, I think. Obviously, Leicester come to the Swansea.com stadium up against a team that are in form at the minute, you have to say, even though their league position wouldn't say that, but they're actually in decent form. But I think it's going to be another issue for the opposition to try and work out how Leicester play. I think you can watch as many videos as you want of Leicester. It's still a bit of an issue for, every team that I've seen so far this season trying to cope with them. So I'm expecting much of the same as what we've seen before we went into the international breakdown. Everybody's come back with a clean bill of health, I'm led to believe, and that's a major bonus for Enzo Maresca leading up to this game. Very well, thanks.
Good. Do you think the international break will play any part in it in terms of disrupting any rhythm, or will it be more a case of same as what we've seen previous?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that scenario, isn't there? That some players have been away for a couple of weeks. They've maybe only had possibly 1 day's training, if that. To get back into the groove of things. But I think because of the form that Leicester are in and the way that the player won't take too long before they get back into that groove. So you may see a little bit of rustiness for the first 15-20 minutes, but I think I'm fully expecting Leicester to get back into the groove today. As I say, it may just take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the international break, Jerry, and maybe momentum letting a side down, I guess it's probably more of a case for Swansea, the fact they'd won their previous 4.
That's right. They're in good form. 4 out of the last 5 they've won. So, that will affect them as well. I don't know how many of their players were on international duty. I'm sure there was a few. So yeah, both teams will come into this, a little bit rusty. But I think, as soon as Leicester get into their groove, then like majority of other teams, if not all the other teams I've seen this season, they'll just struggle to cope with the style of play. It's as simple as that. No one's tried to work, or no one's got the grips with Leicester style of play. We're 11 games in, league games in, and no one's still come up with any answers. Yes, Hull beat them, but still Leicester were a better team on the day. They just couldn't finish Hull off. So, and I think, it doesn't matter how many videos you watch of Leicester City playing or where their strengths are, and your tactics to try and stop them. I think because of the talent they've got, and especially in the midfield area, then they've got enough nous in there to work the opposition out and get round them and get through them.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Just quickly, have you seen our old friend Ewan Roberts down there?
I have. He's just sat behind me laughing. He's just laughing at me.
Laughing at you, is he? Yeah. That's typical.
No, Ewan laughing at me because I spoke to him last night, and it was lashing down my rain. And obviously I had a 5-hour journey this morning, and I was asked him, what have you heard anything, Ian? Have you heard
about the game being called off?
But alas, I'm here.
Yes,
I'm here.
Because you'd have known it had been Matt Elliott's turn for the rearranged fixture, wouldn't you? Anyway, all right, thank you very much, Jerry. We'll hear from you. You're on co-commentary duty for us today. Let's take a close look then at today's hosts in Swansea. No, we've not spoken to Ewan Roberts for our opposition view. We've spoken instead to Gareth Vincent from BBC Sport Wales, and he tells us what to expect from the Swans.
things have turned spectacularly, really. They beat Sheffield Wednesday, finally. Duff got his first win. And then they followed that up with 3 more victories. So it's gone from all doom and gloom and, as I say, question marks about how long Michael Duff might last, to all of a sudden the club have gone from the bottom 3 to 12th, and people are thinking, can they perhaps push for the playoffs as they did last season, eventually finishing 3 points outside. But long way to go, and although this 4-game winning run has really lifted spirits, I think it's absolutely the case that Swansea is still a work in progress, still getting used to life under Duff and the different style, and he's probably getting used to the club as well. And often you can look at a team and go, well, if you keep this player quiet or this player quiet, then you've got a good chance of winning the game, haven't you? But it's not really. It doesn't really feel like that at Swansea at the moment. The success they've had, if that makes sense, has been as a result of the team efforts rather than some individual moments of quality.
Thank you to Gareth Vinson there from BBC Sport Wales. A quick reminder of today's game and where you can find it here on Fox's Hub with us. The game is available to watch pretty much internationally, anywhere other than the UK, so you can get yourself a game pass, which is available to buy today. All the details are on Fox's Hub. Just head to lcfc.com/Fox's Hub. If you are in the UK and you do want to follow all the action, then you can listen to it with us on Fox's Hub. There is a listen live pass as well, where you'll hear Jerry Taggart on commentary duty for us. We just heard from the reporter there. Obviously, he follows Swansea week in, week out, Walshy, and at the start of the season, there were clearly worries, weren't there? They no wins in the first 7, but to go and turn that around and win the last 4, that you'd assume they're bouncing into this game.
Yeah, obviously, when you have a change of manager, change of style of play, things initially can change, and it's unbelievable how some players that have been playing within themselves seem to flourish. Things, there might have been a bit of dressing room problems that they'd had, and this is usually the case when teams are struggling and they can't get a win. But yeah, like I said, this is a game and a test for Leicester, but like I say, is this an initial Swansea turnaround in the style of play that they're playing? They're coming up against some top class opposition today in Leicester, and for them it's a huge test, so it's going to be an interesting game, and yeah, I expect us to more of the same. I really do. I just feel that confident about this team now. The way that they're playing, the team that he's chosen, the selection, I just don't see them being beaten. And I'm one of these people, I don't like to say that too soon because you can be shot down. But no, it was strong, and Swansea have got a lot on their hands today.
I think with Swansea as well, they've always been known, the DNA is a possession-based team. It's been ever since Roberto Martinez first came into Swansea.
Brendan Rodgers too.
Yeah.
Brendan after it, but initially with Martinez built the project, and they've always played through the pitch in terms of the possession. Michael Duff may have came in and been a little bit more robust initially with them, but obviously identified they've got some very technically gifted players within the team. Patino on loan, he's a good ball player. Matt Grimes, very good in this division. Jamie Patterson also likes the ball. They've got players who prefer the ball than without it, so I think Leicester can capitalise on that. Obviously Leicester have got the quality on the ball, but they've also got the legs and the athleticism to run off Swansea players. But I think a big turnaround in Swansea's season was the actual defeat against Cardiff, because they've won the majority of those games of late, and then the defeat, and then it maybe turn around and more adapted to the style that Swansea used to. But in any forms of the game, Leicester can beat them either way. So I think as the game goes on, you'll see the midfield going through the Swansea team and sort of upping the gears, which Swansea are good on the ball, but can be sort of the weakness without it, because Leicester have got better players in that midfield area with more energy off the ball.
Yeah, hopefully Leicester can exploit that today. The players that will be looking to do that, we can give you a quick reminder of, we are, 20 minutes now away from kickoff at the Swansea.com stadium. Enzo Maresca has made 5 changes to the side that beat Stoke just before the international break. It's Hermansen in goal, Justin, Vestergaard, Fass and Ricardo across the back 4, with Winks, Dewsbury Hall and Ndidi in midfield, and then it's Mavididi and Fataru either side of Jamie Vardy. Formidable forward line for the Foxes. From a Swansea point of view, this is the side that will be looking to make it 5 wins in a row. They've got Rushworth in goal, Tiemann, Humphreys, Darling and Key, Patino and Grimes in midfield, with Lowe, Patterson and Cullen supporting Yates, who has 3 goals at home so far this season. Let's hear now from one of the Leicester City players then, around about an hour and a half ago or so, as they were arriving at the Swansea.com stadium. Abdul Fatawu caught up with our commentator, Tyler Morris.
Well, after spending 2 weeks with the international break training at Seagrave, how good does it feel to be back in action again this afternoon?
Actually, it's very exciting to be back again, and as in a winning way. So we are just prepared and ready for this game.
And we're coming up against a Swansea side who have won their last 4. What do you expect from them today?
Actually, it's a game, and everyone wants to win, and we are ready. And I think they are a better side, but we are ready for them.
And is there any extra motivation, considering there's a chance to make the best start in the competition's history?
Yeah, actually, I think, because I'm always ready to win, and always ready to give out our best for the team. And I think we're going to keep this till the end of the season.
That was Abdul Fatawu there, speaking ahead of the game today. As was referenced in that interview, Leicester City can be the first side to ever make it, or get more than 30 points rather, in their first 12 games at the start of the season. They will be hoping, though, for all 3, won't they, today, to make it 11 wins from 12. They'll also become, another stat for you, Matty Fright, the first side to ever win their first 6 consecutive away games in the second tier, the first team to ever do that. Wout Fass could be a key man in this. Him and Yannick Vestergaard today, Walshy.
These are all could-be's, don't forget that. But yeah, Leicester have to defend well. Individual errors, cut these out. They're not making as many errors. They're defending the box well. They're powerful. And the key to Leicester's game is the pace and the attacking prowess for me. Well conditioned players who are now just forming a relationship and an understanding that is building the success on. And like I say, it is a test today, but I certainly feel there's goals in us in any game. For many players as well. There's such an array of talent that can score goals, and I think Harry Winks has been a key player this season. He's a terrific footballer. You don't talk about him a lot, but the effort and the passes that he plays, he never gives the ball away. Always key that he's involved, and I like the way that the inverted fullbacks now, which I never knew until this season, but it's great, and it's really pressing teams, pushing teams back, and like I say, the gifted players that he's, Ricardo back into his best now, he's injury free. Seeing these players come back in, Ndidi had some terrible injuries, Justin coming back from these, and now Justin will get better and better, so it's exciting times for Leicester at the moment.
I think touching on the initial bit with Wout Fass coming back in, he offers more mobility to Harry Souttar. Not saying that there's any difference in play, but more mobility. And with Yates is a willing running for Swansea. He'll chase a packet of crisps in the wind. He's that type of forward. So I think with that extra mobility and They've played the majority of the season as a partnership, and both of them done really well. But he just offers a little bit more in terms of anything over the top. He's able to cover a bit more efficiently, even though Souttar's done nothing wrong and there's nothing between them. I think you just provide that extra bit of balance with Fast coming back in.
And Cody coming back into the position as a leader. I think he's going to be one. He'll certainly get into that team. There's no doubt.
Well, when you look, especially, there's going to probably be games Saturday, Tuesday.
This is the thing. This is where Enzo's got to rotate it right. And I think on the pitch, the rotation of players, how they work and operate, you can see the things that they're being taught now, and I'm learning new things from watching what he's instilling in this team. So it's fantastic to see. It really is.
And it's exciting. It really is exciting. Obviously, there was a huge disappointment at the end of last season, but I think Enzo Maresca has come in. It's been a breath of fresh air, hasn't it? And the start they've made always helps when they're winning games. Yeah,
we're loving it, aren't we? In terms of victories that come in, the style of play, everyone wants to be on board, and all that in the past has gone. And there's a feel-good vibe, and who wouldn't want to be playing in a team like this? You're already talking about the opposition, and they're saying, well, with how Stoke played, they'd take a 1-0 defeat before the game began, which is brilliant if you're that player in the team, and there's that togetherness. Winning helps to create that, full of confidence, and you just want the games to come thick and fast. And like Walsh said at the start of the show, there are loads to come, but break back into it, and you want to be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much to Steve Walsh and to Matty Fright. They'll be back with me, Dan Bates, at half-time, and then again at full-time, where hopefully Leicester City have made Championship history this afternoon. To follow all the action, you can do so on Fox's Hub, whether that's listening or watching. Here are all the details of how to do that.
If you are watching on lcfc.com, just sit back and relax. If you are watching on social media, the live stream will finish shortly. If you want to continue enjoying our coverage, you'll need to head over to lcfc.com/Fox's Hub and purchase one of our game passes. If you are watching in a territory where the game isn't live on TV, you'll be able to watch a live video stream on Fox's Hub. Please visit lcfc.com/territories to check. If you can't find your location, live audio commentary is still available. You'll need to have an lcfc.com account before you purchase your Game Pass. If you already have one, please sign in and select your product at lcfc.com/Fox's Hub. Select the Buy button and you'll be taken to the payment page. Once you've followed the simple payment steps, press Continue at the bottom of the screen and you'll be taken to the Fox's Hub homepage. If you purchased a video pass, please select Watch Live from the Fox's Hub drop-down menu. If you purchased a Listen Live pass, please select Listen Live. If you purchased a seasonal or monthly video pass and the game is not being shown in your territory, please select Listen Live. If you are having a payment or technical issue, please email Leicester TV Support at streamamg.com. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the match.
Who wants to join me? Shopping at King Power. 3-day, 2-night stay booked. See ya.
To the rooftop bar.
To snap a photo for my IG.
To eat the famous pad thai.
The new collection is calling me.
Sure, there's a perfume I want. Let me ask my sis. Yes, of course I'm going. Leicester City, Fox never quit.
Let's go. It's possible because King Power is more than just duty-free. Shop latest trends in beauty and gadgets. Your coolest staycation. The legendary pad thai, best street food in town. A place to support your team, a fancy dinner, enjoy shopping at downtown stores and online, or even the thrill of a new experience. Explore your everyday possibilities. The power of possibilities. King Power.
The new season's nearly here and the opinions are getting stronger.
We've got serious pulling power now.
What? To get the top 2 players now?
Aye?
It's like I've been saying, if he settles the squad, we'll be back on top.
Only this time we're going for the quadruple.
You are joking, aren't you?
The time for talk is nearly over.
With over £4 million in free bet giveaways and huge price boosts, kick off your season with Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Jameson Black Barrel unlocks a richer taste experience from barrels charred black by fire for notes of butterscotch, toasted oak and, ooh, moments like this.